Everyone, good morning, and this is Kimberly. For today's AskSpot Office Hours Live Health session, let me just quickly introduce you on what we're going to build. So it's going to be a local area expert bot for real estate agents. Okay, so also. Just so this, guys. I mentioned this every week. This is where you can also get ask quick questions about AskSpot and get live help right here on the call. So if you got anything at all, you're curious about something, you're working on this tool in AskSpot, and you're stuck somewhere. This is where you can ask those questions on this live call. So no matter what I'm building, if you have a question, feel free to leave it in the comments, or you can also unmute your mic. That would be perfect also. Okay. Good morning to everyone also to have joined us today. I think we have a few who have already joined us. Thank you so much, guys. I think we have Connie on the call. Good morning, Connie. We have Dave. Good morning. We have Dev. Nice to see you here. Diane. And then we have Dimitri. See some familiar faces. Hi, Don. Nice to see you. We have Robin. We have Sam. We have Steve. Nice to see you here, guys. So I hope you guys would like what we're going to build today. It is perfect for those who are working with real estate agents. If that's your niche, this tool that we'll be building today is perfect. It's perfect for buyers of those real estate agents who are constantly researching things like schools, maybe home prices, maybe some local spots, instead of Googling everything or just bouncing from site to site or from custom GPTs to custom GPTs. This way, we can personalize the bot. I mean, we can show off the agent's local expertise on the neighborhood with this. And with that, it naturally turns curious buyers into warm leads. So it's not super flashy, it's not gimmicky, it just solves a real problem for both agents and the buyer. So let me just go ahead and show you guys how I'm going to build that exactly inside AskSpot. So you can do it also on your own. Let me just exit out of this screen and then go to my AskSpot account. Okay, so I'm inside my Spotlight. So this is my business name, and then here's where we will create that. Okay, so now this one's going to be Spotlight. Awesome, my favorite tool in AskSpot. So let's just say let's just say we will be building this road in which is great in Greenwood. So home guide. Okay, now let's click create. Let's just wait for that to load. It's pulling resources right now. Awesome. All right. Now let's click inside this and start customizing our spotlight. Okay, so you need to add at least one resource before you can see your spotlight. Gladly, I'm ready for that. I have this resource called Greenwood Area Expert Knowledge Base. So basically, it would have to contain a PDF guide on the neighborhood overview. So these are just like PDF guide of what you're going to upload. To the AI in here, to the sources. And then over here, you have your market data, you have your school ratings, local attractions and lifestyle. I think we also have walkability, commute, and safety. Okay, so let's add this real quick to our spotlight. Okay, now go back here, go to integrations. How do you create that document? So mainly, Dave, I do ask, what you can do is look for local articles on the neighborhood itself. So Greenwood, Seattle, local guide articles, and then feed that into ChatGPT. And then I ask ChatGPT to turn it into a knowledge base for this tool that I'm trying to create. So with that, I just copied it from ChatGPT and then I put it right here on Google Docs so that I can just, turn on autosync and then continuously update this doc when needed, save sources. Do you have a ChatGPT prompt already written so you can share with us? Not really, Connie. I mean, I use a whole lot of different prompts. I mean, it's just from the top of my mind whenever I use these prompts. And then over here, so oh, actually, Connie, but I think maybe I can create like a yeah, I think I can create a ChatGPT prompt. I'll attach that on the recording of this call. Okay. So yeah, let me go in here and go to autosync. Thanks, that would be so helpful. Yes, very welcome, Connie. I'll post that also in school. So in the comments section, whenever I post these recordings, that's where the resources are added for each live call. So going back, so over now here on autosync, I'm just turning the autosync for this, just so if we want to add more info, we want to add more knowledge into our custom AI, at least we can just do that from this exact document. Okay, so now we have our sources. Now let me go over to our settings, and this is where the magic begins. So let's start customizing this. So title, this one's going to be Greenwood Home Guide, and then maybe let's add a call to action. Let's just say book a local call expert, and then this one's going to be a Calendly link, so it can be anything you want as long as it's a URL. You can also take this can also be an email if you want, as long as you use the mail to link, so that it would redirect you to an email. And then over here under custom links, let's add 4 custom links. So I think first one's going to be a resource about market reports, maybe a resource about school ratings, maybe about local favorites and home search. And then let's just make sure to add all of the URL related to those titles. So just grab that and put that right here. Okay. So save changes. So this one's going to be our header part of the spotlight. You can turn this off if you want. You can turn off this nav bar, but I find that it looks so much better when you have when you add the header options for this. Okay, we have a question from Dave. Were you able to get the prompt for the Homozy bot that you and Dave built? I looked for it, but I could not locate it. Oh, yeah, I'm still trying to get that, Dave. I'm sorry. It's been just a crazy week for Dave and Drew. But yep, I'm trying to get that from Dave specifically. I don't have it in my account right now, so that would be on Dave's account, so I cannot easily get it. So sorry for that. But once I get the prompt, I'll make sure to send that also. And then going back, let's go to profile. And then over here on our profile options, so first thing that I would like to add is a media. And this one's going to be a photo. There you go. It looks like this. And upload. All right, there you go. So that looks better. This one's a 1:1 image. And then over here on our profile description, so let me just delete this and let's add this text, like thinking about moving to Greenwood, Seattle. I'm your local expert with deep insights into schools, pricing trends, walkability, and what makes this neighborhood unique, okay? And then we're going to add a few social media links in here. Maybe let's add up to 4 for this. This one's going to be an Instagram. And then this one's going to be maybe a LinkedIn page, for the real estate agent that we're building this for. And then Facebook. And then let's use YouTube. There you go. And save changes. All right, so that's our profile part. Okay, now let's just take a quick look on how it's looking right now. Okay, so this one is the profile part, the header. Now what we're going to change is the chat area. So let's do that by going to this section. And then, so this one's basically what the AI, what they're going to see for the AI chat. So let's just remove this and add this. Hey there, I'm your Greenwood real estate guide. Ask me anything about the area, from schools and safety to home values and where locals hang out. So ready to explore and save changes. Okay, I think that's good. Next, let's go to customization. And let's just make sure that we have the theme uh, selected right here. So just use this. I think this one looks good for this. Save changes. Now you'll see that reflect. Okay, there you go. I think that's better. So I think that's for the customization. And we go to AI config. So for the system prompt that we will be using, let me just enlarge this. Okay, now delete this generic prompt that we have for all AI tools. So basically, we just explain the AI, what its job is, how it should help users, some example questions that it might encounter. This is not really needed. I mean, you can remove this from your prompt, and then this one's important, the tone. Make sure to always, tell the AI how you want it to sound when chatting with a user. So there you go. This one's going to be our prompt. So let's save changes on that. And then for the AI platform, I like to use the 4.0. So let's save that. And going down here, I think we're good with the AI temperature scale. So this is mainly for very specific use cases. So let me go now to our, oh, 1 second. Let me also enable AI to suggest questions based on its knowledge and user conversation. So let me just make sure that's toggled on. Save changes, and you'll see the AI pull up like some suggested questions that the user can just click on to start a conversation or to trigger a conversation with the AI. So that's going to be shown under here on this section. So let me just click here. Okay, so there you go. Seems to be working. There you go. So yeah, that would be this setting right here. And the cool thing about it is you can also add keywords for suggestions. So basically you're guiding the AI what kind of questions you wanted to suggest to the user. So right now, it's suggesting these questions based on what knowledge it has, but you can also guide it by adding the keywords for suggestion. There you go. Okay, what else? So we have added or we have customized it. We changed our general settings. We added our prompt. Now, I think, let me just refresh here. Okay, there you go. So now let's just try testing this a little bit. Um, let's ask it, what's the average home price in Greenwood? There you go. Okay, so I think it was able to get that from our knowledge base itself. So with this spotlight that we built, I mean, it's super practical, right? One thing that you can also add, and I highly suggest this, is to add maybe a lead forms that would collect, lead information. Maybe it will trigger after they've chatted with AI, or maybe after 3 to 5 chats with AI, it would trigger the form to collect their info. So that way you're building, a warm leads list. So that's it. That's how you can turn this neighborhood knowledge into a working AI assistant. So any questions at all in the comments? So let me know, guys, if you have any questions at all about what we built, this spotlight that we built right here.
Kim, this is Connie. I have a quick question. I know in the past and I've not been able to be on in several weeks, that you do not post the actual video of you're doing this or walking through this, but you are posting the link so that we can download it into AskSpot. Is that still correct?
Oh, no, just started posting the recordings. Also, Connie, we found that it's helpful, to also post the recordings so that they can go back, on some steps, while I was doing the live call. So we are now posting the recordings of this entire call. We also add to the comments the resources for this, which is the copy of this spotlight, and also some resources mentioned on the call itself.
Great. I thank you so much that you're doing that. It's always nice just to have the a copy so that we can take it and edit it for ourselves. But sometimes I need to watch you do things too, and I can't always be on the calls.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I'm glad that you're doing that
Yeah.
now. And I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Have a great day. I got to run.
Okay. See you soon, Connie. Thank you for joining. I think there's also another question from Deb. I see you had Expedia Hotel Search API. Did you have any suggestions for real estate APIs that would go with this spotlight? I think you're referring to this one, right? I've actually been actively testing this. I use Expedia's API. However, they need I think you need to have a paid subscription. So I haven't tested it yet with the paid subscription, but right now I don't think it's working. Ha! Sorry guys, I cannot show this right now. But once this is successful, and make sure to show this, because what I'm trying to build here is I'm trying to connect it to a spotlight that you can, and at least with that spotlight you can look up accommodations, hotels, room rates, and then it would pull up the link for that, or where to book with Expedia with that. So that's what I was trying to explore in here. When you say paid subscription, for who? Oh, when you use some APIs, you have to pay for a subscription before you can use them. So if you guys remember that when we were training you for building these AI tools, we suggested that you use Ninja API, right? Because they have like a wide variety of APIs, and most of them are free. But you might find some that aren't free, and you do need to, I think, pay a subscription before it can work, um, before you can connect it to AskSpot. With that question, oh, there's another question from Deb. With that question, what is the average year-over-year appreciation? Is that set up as a channel? Is that set up? Oh, okay. I see. You're asking where I set up the Expedia hotel search, right? So it would show up under here, under this option, on all the tools that you're building, inside AskSpot, and you need to set it up here on the left part of your screen. So if you click AI tools, you'll see there's the Expedia hotel search, some of the tests that I've been doing, Bitcoin price. These are all the APIs that I built inside HASPOT. Diane says, Kim, thank you. This is very.
No, that was actually a different question.
Oh,
On the spotlight, you had the kind of hint questions for the user.
I see. One
And one of
second.
the questions at the bottom was, what is the average year-over-year appreciation?
You're referring to this?
Yes. So how did you set that up? Is that a channel or I don't think I quite followed
Yeah,
how
certainly.
you
Let me just
set
show
that
you
up.
quickly. So these are AI suggested questions, and you can set that up by going to settings, AI config, and it's going to be this setting right here, show AI suggested questions. But just a reminder that this is only for OpenAI models. So you can just enable this, and then the AI will keep on suggesting questions based on the knowledge that it has. So if I refresh this, it would change that question to another one based on its knowledge. There you go. what are the best neighborhoods for families in Greenwood, something like that.
Okay, and so that's information that you put in the knowledge base document that you
Knowledge.
attach, not that you put it anywhere else,
That's
excuse me,
right.
in the Spotlight setup, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. All right. Let's see here. Can you take us a minute? And oh, there's a question from Don. Can you take a minute and show us where the redundant AI API would go in case the first one has a glitch? Oh, I think I know what you mean. You're referring to the fallback API, Don, right? I think it's this one. So I think with this, but when it comes to setting this up, Don, you'll see that there's chatbot settings, there's global settings, and for example, the main API that you're using for your AskSpot account is OpenAI. So like for me, I use OpenAI on all of my AI tools. What you can do is set a secondary API over here, and it will automatically switch over to that. Doesn't when there's some issues with your API key, for example, it expired or it's not funded, or maybe there was a cloud server issue with OpenAI, it would automatically switch to whichever one you set in here. But you would have to set this per tool. You cannot do that on your general settings at the moment. So you would have to set this under each tool that you want to have a secondary AI fallback. So for me, I have Claude, Google Gemini, DeepSeek available as a fallback because I already added their API key over here on general settings. So if you go to your API key on your general settings, you'll see the three other options. And then you can just quickly add their API key or add the API key for Claude or for DeepSeek. So it would save it in the system. But right now I'm using OpenAI, so that's the API key that it's using right now. But you can always set these three others as the fallback. It's a great thing to have, especially guys, if you already have bots that are deployed, on websites or already being used by, multiple users. I mean, if there's a lot of activity with your AI tools, it's super helpful to set a fallback. I mean, just earlier, I think there was an issue with OpenAI, right? Um, so now you can also do that for your tools. Any other questions on this matter? Okay. No, thank you. All right. Um, on a side note, did you get an email about OpenAI going to 5.1? Yes, I did. I did see that. Don't I haven't. I think I haven't tried it, but I will do that today. And that should be available very soon. I'll ask Dave and Drew about that also, and when we will have that option. See here. Da, da, da. Maybe we have the oh right, maybe we have the link to Google Docs knowledge base and the spotlight. Thanks for the reminder, Deb. Let me just put that right here on the chat. So share. You want to enable copy share of the spotlight? Yes, I want. And put that over here on chat for the spotlight. And let me also put it right here. Copy this. Okay, put that right here and make sure to select file and make a copy. There you go. So I just pasted that in the comments. Great spotlight again, Kim. Good blend of human touch with AI. Real estate agents should love it. Thank you for that, Dawn. I appreciate it. All right. Anyone else have any last questions before we wrap up the call? Okay, I think we're good for today. Thank you all so much for joining this Tuesday's live help session. And if guys, if you have any questions at all, have any assistance you need at all, you know where to find me. Thank you all for joining and have a great Tuesday. Bye bye.